Thank you, Chairman Denham. I appreciate the excellent hearings on the creation of a civilian property realignment commission that Chairman Jeff Denham has led. Because we are charting a new bipartisan course on path-breaking legislation, I had assumed we would sit down before today's markup to discuss some of the small changes I believe could improve the bill, particularly because I've been clear that I support the concepts and direction of H.R. 1734. I was disappointed to find on Monday that a markup had been scheduled for Wednesday after Congress returned from a week-long recess. However, I appreciate the commitment of the chairman to have his staff sit down with my subcommittee staff to work through our concerns. The issues that remain include environmental protections waived in this legislation, the criteria used to develop the recommendations of the Commission, ensuring that the General Services Administration will have a strong role in construction and leasing activities recommended by the Commission in light of the fact that only the GSA has any expertise on these matters, and clarifying the definitions of the properties that will be considered by the Commission. The subcommittee is fortunate to have the Department of Defense Base Realignment Commission, or BRAC, experience that offers strong guidance. At the same time, there may be occasional differences, such as the subcommittee's desire, and certainly my own, to clear the roles of the property, which apparently has not been as much of a factor for the DoD BRAC property. All factors must be considered to keep them from coming back to haunt the Commission. In light of the upcoming meetings between our staff, it is not necessary to detail all the issues that need further discussion, but one example involves environmental statutes, namely the CERCA, Comprehensive Environmental Response Compensation and Liability Act, and the National Environmental Policy Act, or NEPA. H.R. 1734 proposes waiving the current polluter pays CERCLA policy by eliminating the federal government's responsibility for the cleanup of any hazardous or toxic waste that may be present at the facility unless the pollution is discovered before the property is transferred. This committee, on a bipartisan basis, has always opposed undermining the polluter pays principle of Superfund, and there is no evidence that points to CERCLA as a reason why the transfer of federal property has been delayed. Several hypotheticals come to mind. If the government is allowed to waive CERCLA and a private developer does not complete the cleanup of the site, the public will ultimately be at risk. Or consider that our own states and districts often desire and obtain disposal property. If it is BRAC property, the federal government accepts the entire cleanup responsibility. Should our state and local governments accept liability for federal government pollution simply because a different part of the government is the polluter? H.R. 1734 also has a provision that waives the application of NEPA for the selection of property, but maintains NEPA for the disposal, realignment, and consolidation recommendations of the Commission. At this point, H.R. 1734 appears inconsistent with the administration's proposal, but I believe may have very little practical difference, since the administration's proposal exempts the selection of property from judicial review. In this subcommittee, we have always been able to sit down and work through our concerns, and I have every reason to believe that this tradition continues strongly today. I look forward to working closely with the chairman between now and full committee markup. And thank you, Mr. Chairman.